Strong corporate governance has been one of Investcorp absolute core principle since the inception of Investcorp, and something that we have built during the time. This is absolutely something we believe, and it is in our DNA, Investcorp DNA. Today, we have about 40 companies in our portfolios. Their total revenue is in excess of $12.5 billion. They employ about 60,000 employees. To have this quantity and quality of the companies in the portfolio, to buy each company out of these 40, we have to go through a lot of process. This process, of course, to select each one of it is going through a lot of corporate governance. The reason is we need to come up with give confidence to our investor as well as our stakeholder and shareholder that we are really investing in something that we believe that we have gone through all the process through the due diligence and the question that goes through the corporate governance. So we really go into the details. In the Gulf alone, we have about 10 company in the portfolio, which again produce about $3 billion worth of revenue and employ about roughly 10,000 employees. This is very critical for our business, and all these investment, there is a lot of thesis has went through. So to go back within Investcorp DNA, this is really something we believe in. We have taken it from the inception until today, and we apply it in every business we do at Investcorp. Board composition is clearly a must. It has to be a qualified board member. So we go through certain criteria to select our board. Within this criteria, and together we complement different set required for each single board. Very important that the board member has to be aware of the business we do and we are in, because it is very risky business. He has to know what goes on into the budget process, what goes on into the strategy of the firm, how do we implement this strategy, what goes on into the management of the firm. We are buying, for example, a retail company. For this board in the retail company, before we buy the company, we ask the expert people to help us in the due diligence. Once they help us in the due diligence, we go back to them. If we agree to buy this company and acquire this company, we go back to them and request them to become board member. So they know the company from the beginning that we are acquiring. They go through the details with us of the company. They help us as well of showing us the detailed activity in the company. If we appear to acquire this company and it become one of our portfolio, we request these people, he or she, to become a board member with us. We do actually, we do, and it became more of a regulatory requirement. Because it became a regulatory requirement, a lot of family have realized that, and they have injected many within the board actually and within the company, a lot of skills to be embedded within the company, at least for them to look very good into the eye of the regulators. If you don't have good governance today, the regulators will not look for you as a favorable. So you need to implement within even if it is a family business, it is not a corporate business or an institutional business, you need to implement the corporate, within that corporate structure, the corporate governance. You need to teach it, you need to test it, and you need to implement it within that. And that's go, by the way, from all the process. And in different segment, each department will be treated differently. So within the different business that the family does, you will require corporate governance to be implemented. If you are a car dealer, for example, from the showroom all the way down to the importing of the car, all the details have to be implemented for the family. So I see a lot of engagement. We see a lot of corporate family getting engaged in the corporate governance, and of course us in Investcorp, we do that by the way in a very articulated basis, as I said, because we work with it. It's in our bank, it is in our acquisition company, and I think now you could see it with the family houses as well. It's applying. Definitely, and we see it again. It's a regulation, a must regulation requirement actually, and I believe independent board member will always bring independent value, different than the value that the normal board members that they can bring, or the management within the firm that they can bring. You will always find the huge benefit and deep penetration within the independent board member that they come. Again, we see it in our company that we buy. If we ask an independent board member to come and join us, they provide a tremendous amount of value to us through not only the corporate governance, but through many other stuff that build up to stronger corporate governance without feeling. Suddenly you'll find yourself very strong in the governance because of the value that the independent board bring to these corporate companies or corporate private equity that we acquire. So we believe in it. We see it happening. I have many examples, a long example to give you about why it has succeeded and who really participated in those and which company. I mean, if I recall, we have one company called we acquired in US called Sur La Table, and Sur La Table, when we wanted to buy, we asked a lady actually, and this lady used to be the CEO for Gap and the CEO for Banana Republic. When we asked this lady to help us in buying Sur La Table, and which we acquired Sur La Table, and once we acquired Sur La Table, we asked this lady to join us and to become a board member. So she was with us from the inception. She got to know she is an independent board member, but the value she brings into Sur La Table company is phenomenal. This is a kitchen equipment in US. I think first and foremost, in line with best practices, I think the role of the chairman and CEO has to be separated very clearly. You cannot have both roles. Even in the private company. The chairman works very closely with the board, and he represents the shareholders to ensure that the company really run well and there is no issues. The role of the chairman, therefore, extremely important, and he should be something which is gravitates. He should be someone who can communicate with the management and who can balance the board and the management, and he can create a relationship between the board and the management, but it is a healthy relationship between the two, the board and relationship. And I would use the word healthy tension between them, which is very important. He should encourage more of challenges, the chairman, and the outcome, I'm sure, will be very good. The CEO, I think there is a mandate for the CEO, which is clearly, ideally is a charismatic person, an aspiring leader, take the responsibility and run with the company. Across few very important, I would use three as well. Strategic process is key elements for him. Operational process is absolutely a key element for the CEO, and of course the organizational structure is very important for the CEO to add. This definitely segregate the two between the chairman responsibility and the CEO responsibility. The minute you add the two, I think you will find a little bit, there is no distinguish, and you will find that the board of director will be in a complete mixed, because the feedback they receive from the chairman, same feedback they receive from the CEO, I believe of the segregation, and then each one run his own responsibilities.